Welcome back to the Adaptive Athlete Podcast, the place for conversations with adaptive athletes in the CrossFit space and beyond. I'm your host, Matt Hotho. On today's episode, I'm talking with Sue Jordaan. Sue is an athlete out of South Africa. She's an adaptive athlete, and this was her rookie season in the CrossFit Games. Now, she didn't make it to the Games due to cost, but she competed in the Open and semifinals. And in our conversation, we talk about her experience with a 2013 car crash where she broke her back and lost her job and still had to raise her two daughters. What it was like to discover wheelchair rugby and get classified in wheelchair rugby. And then, and this was the coolest part of the conversation, what it's like to do adaptive scuba diving. Sue dives independently. She runs a nonprofit with her husband for adaptive scuba divers. And she talks about what happens for her pain and her pain relief when she dives deep underwater. It's a super cool conversation. I grew up on the water, so for me, this was a really fun conversation to understand what it's like to scuba dive as an adaptive athlete. So check it out. Sue Jordaan, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. Thank you for this opportunity. It's nice to actually talk to you. It's been quite a time that I've been following you. So thank you for the opportunity.
Hey, I'm flattered. This is so cool to get to talk to you as well. I've seen some of your stuff on social media, especially your scuba diving stuff, which we will definitely talk about because I find it absolutely fascinating. So I want to start right off, though, with you're a rookie and you were going to be coming to San Jose this year for your rookie season. But as we talked about through Instagram, you're not actually going to be going to San Jose this year. Can you tell me a little bit about why you're not going to be making it to San Jose this year?
So, it was quite a journey for me. I was really surprised to be qualifying for the semi, nevertheless, into the final. And so the cost going to California, we're looking about $4,000 just to get there.
Mm-hmm.
Then you still need to accommodation, food, stuff like that. And for me, when I'm going, and I will be going eventually, I want to be the best version of myself, and I want to be the fittest to compete in, doesn't matter what category. I want to make the best of it.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So you want to, before you make a $4,000 to $6,000 commitment to fly out to the States to compete, you want to make sure you are in the best condition possible to compete in that competition.
That is correct.
Yeah.
So it's just on hold for now, but watch this space.
Awesome. I love it. So I hope I get to see you in a future year then competing, albeit the adaptive games, probably doing media stuff in future years as well. And so it'd be nice to meet you and see you throw down and compete on the floor.
That would be amazing.
Yeah. So I think what's really important too about something you said is, $6,000 is no joke to really think about what it costs to do something like this. I know for myself, being in the US, it still costs like $2,500 to $3,000. And that's, my flights are obviously much cheaper. And I'm ambulatory. I can walk. I don't have to worry about, managing a wheelchair through an airport, through security, onto an airplane, probably multiple connecting flights, I imagine that's an added stress as well when you think about traveling.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking when going all the way there, you have to, take someone work to assist to help with getting the gear that side, your wheelchair, maybe some spare wheels. You never know what you're going to need. And then comparing to South Africa, we don't have infrastructure. If you get to train or buses, stuff like that. So going to the States will be a different experience for me.
Mm-hmm. Can you tell me a little bit about your impairment and what makes you an adaptive athlete?
Okay, so in 2013, I had a car accident and broke my back on three places,
Mm.
T7, T12, and L1, and C6 injury. Uh, broke my shoulder, my scapula, my sternum. Yeah, so it was quite a severe accident, and um, the truck driver took me out of the car, which snapped my back, and then left me. So yeah, it made things a bit more challenging for the doctors.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
What was that recovery like?
for me, I was a single mom of two daughters,
Mm.
and there were no time to just sit back and, you know, pity myself. I had to get back um, onto the wagon,
Yeah.
and it took 21 days in rehab. Then I went home and continued my life, looking after my kids, taking them to school. Uh, it was an injury on duty as well. And my work decided that I'm too disabled to doing my job, and I lost my job and my income as well. So
Jeez.
it was a challenge.
Yeah. And this is all 2013, two daughters at home. I assume you're not walking it. I mean, you're in a wheelchair now and you're navigating your home in a wheelchair, navigating tasks like making dinner, folding laundry, just household chores that anybody would have to do. But now you're doing those in a wheelchair. How old were your daughters when this happened?
My eldest was 16,
Yeah.
and my youngest was 7 years old.
Oh, man. Gosh. So they've gotten to grow up watching you model resilience and model relearning all kinds of things.
Yeah, what a journey, eh?
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, my youngest is a referee for wheelchair rugby. She started and qualified at the age of 9 years old. So yeah, that was something that me and her did together. It, uh, yeah, we have a bond that you can't describe in words. And I'm so thankful for them and for her doing the adaptive sport, always being there for me if I need assistance. Yeah, I'm very, very blessed.
Yeah. Yeah. And you said she's a ref for wheelchair rugby, which is something that you compete in and we'll talk about momentarily. But when you do like CrossFit style competitions, is she also your wheel person who helps you control your chair?
No,
Okay.
no, she's just supporting me there.
Okay.
So she is head of officials for Wheelchair Rugby South Africa. And when we go to CrossFit, then she's just my daughter, my biggest support.
Okay. Okay. Gotcha. Gotcha. So you have someone else who provides the support of bracing your wheelchair and helping you move around the competition floor.
Yes. So my husband is there all the way.
Mm.
We met 7 years back, fell in love. We met through scuba diving. Um, yeah, and he's my biggest support. If there's something I want to do, he makes it happen. He's like the spanner. If I need something, he'll build it for me. If there's a problem, he'll sort it out for me.
Wow. I mean, I don't use this term lightly, but like what a blessing. That's amazing.
Yeah, I'm so blessed beyond words. I've got a support system for the first time in my entire life. Um, I got married when I was 14. So it was really a big challenge for me, um, trying to do my education, trying to build a life, and don't have family, don't have anyone. And now, after being disabled, I've got a loving husband, I've got a family for the first time in my life. So, yeah, how happy can one be?
Yeah, of course. The idea of getting married at 14, there's a lot of questions that come with that. What can I ask what happened?
So, yeah, it was an arranged marriage. I, up until today, don't know how, why, what, but yeah, I haven't seen my parents since I was 15. I
Okay.
think that's the last time I saw them. And that's it. That was the end. Yeah, so I've been through it all. Teenage,
Mm-hmm.
marriage, pregnancy, abuse, and being disabled. And now I've been blessed. Through all that, I'm a
Yeah.
stronger, better person. I've got a caring, loving husband looking after me, treating me well. I've got perfect daughters supporting me. So, yeah, and I love sports. So I can compete now. I can concentrate on being an athlete, being a mom, being a wife. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
very blessed.
Yeah. So let's talk about some of these sports that you do. We'll start with wheelchair rugby. Then we'll talk about my favorite, which is scuba, which is a sport to anybody who would say otherwise. I think it is a sport. Then we'll save CrossFit for the end. So wheelchair rugby, you got into wheelchair rugby. How did you find it after your accident? And then what's that journey been like?
Um, so I started playing wheelchair rugby in Bloemfontein for the local team there. Um, yeah, from the first tackle, I was hooked. Um,
Okay.
my aim is to hit as hard as long as possible. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's a way of getting a bit of frustration out.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and yeah, just the community, being part of a community that you can compete in, you feel like you have a sense of belonging.
Yeah, yeah. I think Noah Cook, who was on an episode a couple of weeks ago, he was talking about he's blind, and he was talking about how being able to play goal ball and blind soccer has given him this ability to find a community. He's young. He's like I think 25, and just find a community that's kind of built in through sport. And so I could imagine for you in 2013, 14, 15, like right after your injury, finding wheelchair rugby was an opportunity to find community.
Exactly. So after my accident, or not just mine, I guess for most people, from being an able body going into being a disabled person, a wheelchair bound, it's so easy to isolate from the
Mm-hmm.
world and just uh, you feel like you don't fit in. You feel like it's too much of a problem, accessibility. So yeah, started wheelchair rugby, the community, meeting people with the same challenges.
Yeah.
Yeah, it made a big difference.
So you've gotten classified through the Paralympic, the Wheelchair Rugby Paralympic Federation in South Africa, right?
Yeah.
So you're like in the system for South African wheelchair rugby. What's your goal with that? Is it to get to the Paralympics in wheelchair rugby?
Um, no,
Okay.
I don't think that's the goal for me.
Okay.
I love it. Don't get me wrong. I love it so much, but CrossFit and scuba diving is my passion.
Okay.
So, yeah,
So you're
no,
still just competing in wheelchair rugby, but not like at a level where you want to go further with it.
yes,
Okay.
exactly.
Gotcha.
Maybe, I don't know, maybe not. I like challenges.
Yeah.
So yeah, but equipment in South Africa is really a big problem. So at this stage, we're sharing chairs.
Mm.
So we don't have enough equipment for everyone to play all the time. So yeah, with CrossFit, we don't need that equipment. You don't need anything. And with scuba diving, you also don't need equipment. We've got everything. We supply everything.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes the sport more accessible.
Yeah. That makes sense. That makes sense. One last question on wheelchair rugby before we hop to scuba diving. You're classified in the wheelchair classification guidelines as a 3.5. Can you talk to me a little bit about kind of every Paralympic sport does classification a little bit differently because each sport has different demands. So what do those numbers mean? I was reviewing the code for wheelchair rugby for the Paralympic Federation, and I think it's like a 0 or a 0.5 to 5, and your team can have a certain sum of people. Is that right?
That's correct. Yes. So if you're a female, then the team get an extra point off. So like I'm a 3.5, but if I'm on court, then I play as a 2.5, which
Okay.
makes it makes the points on the total number of players. You can have 3 stronger players and then just 1 low pointer, which gives the team a better advantage. So if you've got 2 females on court, then it's a full 2 points that you can have stronger people on court and still be in the total amount of points.
Mm-hmm.
So it gives a little bit of more advantage.
Okay, gotcha. So for us Americans, it would be like a salary cap on a football team or something like that. I find that stuff so fascinating because the goal is to make the sport as fair as possible and to allow as many people with different impairments to compete, but also to compete fairly. So, but I like that because it adds some strategy. To your point.
I like to always say that you need the people that are not as strong as you. So there's space for everyone to have a, a, a designated spot into the team.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. I love that. This episode is brought to you by Equip Products, the leader in adaptive fitness and therapy equipment. If you're a seated athlete, you know that the lap mat is a game changer. It protects your lap during barbell work, lets you train harder, and is trusted by athletes all the way to the CrossFit Games. Built for adaptive athletes by people who get it. Check them out at equipproducts.com. And now back to the show. Now to my favorite part of this conversation and the thing that I think we connected on the most, which is scuba diving. So I love this meet cute of you and your husband meeting through scuba diving, by the way.
Oh, cool.
How did that happen? I mean, so you told me that you started scuba diving like 3 months before your accident, and then 3 years after your accident, you were like, can I do this again? And you got back in the water. I guess, what was that first experience like? And then along the way, tell me how you met your husband doing scuba diving.
So when I was exploring the possibility of scuba diving again, I phoned him and said to him, listen, I see you are a instructor to dive with adaptive people. And he said, yeah, sure. What questions do you have? And I said, okay, so will I be able to do this? And he said, of course you will. And from the first day I met him, we just had such an awesome connection. Yeah, gentle. He is so sensitive to seeing your knee,
Mm.
and um, everything is always no problem. I'll make it work. No problem. I can assist you. I remember the first time putting my head in water. It was like, what am I doing? I can't kick. It's not like if you unsure, you just stand up and put your head out of the water. You're now in the water. So it was a mind shift for me. Um, but yeah, uh, as the more I practiced, the easier it was.
Mm-hmm.
At this stage, I dive totally independent. I don't need any assistance. I swim by myself. I go down by myself. I go up by myself, which is an awesome feeling to be in the water with people with different people with that can't or don't need any assistance, able bodies, and other disabilities. In the water, we all the same. There's
Yeah.
no special treatment. There's no special anything. You just on the same uh, level, which is always nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What kind of special equipment do you need to like keep your feet up so that you don't just, so that, because I feel like when you're kind of floating in the water, sometimes if you're not paying attention to your trim, you can kind of fall into like an upright position. What do you do to kind of help keep your feet up? Um, and then, yeah, how do you maintain your buoyancy? Obviously, just using your weights and your BC, but is there any other tricks that you have to do?
So it really took a lot of practice for me to find that, as you said, that perfect trim. I had to work out and put extra like bullet weights onto my knees
Yes.
because my legs are very buoyant. So, and I had to find the perfect spot for the knee weights to be, get the right trimming. And then also special gloves, um, thin, wet gloves to just propel better underwater. And that's it. The
Wow.
rest are standard. Nothing else, nothing different. Um, yeah, it's just with the wet gloves, you can swim in a current, you can stay with the group quite easy.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
That's really interesting because I have cerebral palsy on the right side of my body. So my right side's weaker than my left side. And I remember when I would
Okay.
dive, I had the hardest time getting trim and then doing the flutter kicks that like the dive masters do, where like they can almost just have their arms here, right? Like cross their
Yeah.
chest and just flutter kick. I found my arms were coming out constantly, kind of paddling a little bit. But for you, that's your only way to generate
Yeah.
momentum. Okay.
So sometimes when there's a current, I always say you have to butterfly. So you have to maybe two strokes with your left arm and one with your right just to keep that balance.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, but as as time go, the more you do it, the better you get at it.
Yeah.
So yeah, integrated pockets in my BCD. Um, yeah, it's second nature by now, and I can't find anyone with any disability that can't die,
Yeah.
and that's a challenge. If you're not hooked onto a machine, you can die,
Yeah. Yeah. That's
and
really cool.
we'll make it possible.
Yeah. Yeah. And I know you've taken out Roman, you've taken out Becca Nigel, or Nagel. Sorry, Becca Nagel. Who else from the adaptive community has gone diving with you?
We've taken a lot of the older. about 50% of the wheelchair rugby team. Bonga, never been in a swimming pool, never been at the beach. We took him to the pool and he did his dive in the sea between the fish. Yeah, Benny Erasmus diving, Oki, Oki Anker. He's one of the SA team players as well. So yeah, trying to think now. Roman, Dwayne, yeah, the CrossFit guys. Oh, Yolandi was chosen also.
Okay.
So yeah, so we've got a non-profit where handicapped scuba crew, and what we do is we make possible for people, even if they don't have money to contribute, to get them into the pool, to get them to the ocean, to get them in the water and experience it.
Mm-hmm. I have one more question for you about technical diving. And then I'll be curious about like one really cool thing you've seen diving, because I think we all have a really good dive story of some amazing experience we've had diving. But technically, when you have to then surface and when you're doing your decompression stops, obviously you can use your buoyancy to kind of like, keep you in those good zones for kind of doing your decompressions. But then when you get to the surface, how do you kick up so that then you're kind of not treading water per se, but yeah, treading water. I guess you would just super inflate your BC and then the weights on your knees will just be taken over by the BC and you just flip up.
So on the safety stop, it is sometimes a bit of a challenge, especially when you're low on air, which I know you said that you are super heavy on air. Used to be all right. So I can dive at least an hour 10 minutes before I'm out of air. So on the safety stop, yeah, I focus on my breathing so that as soon as you go a bit too high, then you breathe out to get that perfect buoyancy. But as you know, a safety stop can be very boring.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to entertain myself, making some summies, look for big things to see, and yeah. So getting onto the surface, super inflating my BCD, and yeah, just floating on my back and wait for the boat to come pick us up.
Okay, that makes sense. Also, for anybody who doesn't scuba dive, an hour and 10 minutes on a single tank of air is very impressive. I don't know what depths you're doing, but it's just impressive. That's a lot of time to be able to use air underwater. What depths do you typically do?
So I like deep diving. If I say deep diving, I like to do average of 20-25.
Mm-hmm.
For the simple reason, and we're not actually sure how it works, but I suffer from real intense nerve end pain and referral pain because of the spinal cord injury. And when I'm diving deeper than 20 meters, I get such a big pain relief, sometimes up to a week that I don't have pain. So that I think medical aid should cover diving. I think I must send them a letter. I think medical aid needs to pay for us to dive.
Yes.
What do you think?
I think that's a great idea. My first thought would be, you're at, for us Americans, you're at about, 65 to 80 feet in terms of depth. The pressure, there's a good amount of pressure there just from the water. I wonder if that pressure is sort of just doing something almost like a long-term deep tissue massage or something like that to your spinal column, to whatever's going on there. I probably sound like a crazy person right now, but maybe that's making a difference in that pain that you're experiencing.
It must be. And also because of the pressure, your blood circulation is better.
Mm.
And from going out of the sitting position,
Mm-hmm.
being straight, decompress the spine. So all of that, I think, really does play a difference. But yeah, it's just very difficult to explain the pain relief you get.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow. Wow. I did not expect that part of the conversation. I think that's so fascinating though. People should definitely look into that more. Because I think scuba diving is such a, again, I don't get to do it as much as I used to, but it's such a cool experience. It's out of this world. I mean, you almost feel like you feel weightless. You feel like you're in a foreign environment. You're on a life support system essentially, especially when you get down deeper. What's one of the coolest things you've ever seen diving?
I have to say my favorite is in the Red Sea, diving the Thistleborn. That was really special for me. Going into the wreck, seeing all the bikes and the vehicles from the World War II. I think that's definitely on the top 10. And then, like 2 weeks ago, we saw Manta, which is
Whoa.
also very, very nice.
That's really cool. So let's talk about CrossFit and then we'll kind of dive into a little bit of mindset stuff. So when did you find CrossFit? How did you end up discovering that sport? Where does it fit in the timeline?
So, I started CrossFit 3 years ago, once off, and did a casual competition, ended up second. And I was like, oh, this is cool. And Vic said, yeah, come and join the gym. And I was like, yeah, maybe. And he said, Wednesday we've got classes. You've got no excuse. Come try it out. And that was last year, maybe November. And I'm hooked. I'm there every day. And yeah, I'm loving every moment of it.
Wow. And you're working out at Waz Fitness, which is where, is that right?
That's correct. We're based in Pretoria, and we about 20 athletes in this adaptive side of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we are very, very close community in supporting each other and finding ways to train together, uplifting, just to make difference to each and every one of us.
Yeah. Yeah. And I know that Roman trains there, like you were saying, Dwayne trains there. That's also Waz did a huge thing during the semifinals when the darn Echo Bike showed up in semis. I know Kyle Harper got to go there from Johannesburg and be able to do that semifinals workout with the whole community. And he spoke so highly of that experience and just what a great group it is it was.
Yeah, it's really Vic and his wife goes out of their way to make things happen.
Mm.
I know, uh, I don't know if I pronounce his name correctly. That's Vicky from Cape Town. He's also going to California,
Okay.
and he came down now for our PACE competition. And Vic was so supportive, getting him here, getting him set up. Roman through the whole process. Dwayne, we've got also another quad, Paul, which, yeah, I mean, out of one club to have 5 athletes in the top 10
Mm-hmm.
in the semi-final is, I mean, that shows you the commitment of the coach.
Right, right. The commitment of the coach, the quality of the community. That competition that you guys just did a couple of weeks ago, the adaptive and able-bodied pairs competition, right? Did you compete in that?
I did. I did. Um, so yeah, me, Roman, Dwayne, Emily also
Hmm.
was a partner. Then Josh, uh, I don't know if you met
Robinson, I
Josh.
think. He follows me on
Yes,
Instagram. Yeah.
he does. He's um, awesome. He's really awesome. And then Tafiki was there with his partner. Yeah, we were 20 disabled athletes, or 20 teams that competed, total of 40 athletes
Yeah.
that Saturday, which is a nice group of people.
I mean, that's an amazing group of people. I mean, to get 20 adaptive athletes together in a region to do something, I mean, that's on par with some of the non-games level competitions that we have in the US. I mean, it's really powerful. We can get adaptive athletes together in a critical mass and people can see them all compete.
Yeah, no, we're very fortunate to have a community that cares, that um, don't just look at your weaknesses, but build each other up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Can I interest you in a lightning round?
Yeah,
All right. All right. What's one goal that you are working on outside of fitness?
for me, I'm trying to do every day something better than what I did yesterday. And
Okay.
I'm trying to make a difference, to change a life of one person at least. Just showing them, the compassion, the opportunities that there is, um, and there's still life after accident.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it's just to show other people um, that there is hope. Um, I don't want my story to be about what happened to me. I want it to be about what I choose to do
Mm-hmm.
next. If my journey encouraged even one person, then I believe it was worth it.
What's your favorite way to spend a rest day?
Um, with my family,
Mm-hmm.
either go do something fun, driving around, seeing animals, seeing nature, yeah, even watching a movie.
What's a good movie you've watched lately?
Um, I just finished the series of Animal Kingdom, which
Hmm.
was very entertaining.
Nice. More of a documentary?
No,
Hmm.
no, it's the typical drug lord series.
Oh. Oh, Animal Kingdom?
Exactly.
What is your ideal workout?
Ideal workout. Um, Yesterday we did weights. I've got my personal best
Hmm.
of 144 reps of um, dumbbell clean fresh, and yeah, that was my personal best, and that was on a 12.5.
Wow.
So yeah, that was lekker. I like doing weights. I like doing rope. I like pull ups. I like. I don't like rows though.
Oh, you're
I
like,
can.
okay.
Rowing is not my thing.
Hmm. Okay. Okay. You know, Becca Nagel said the same exact thing when we were asking her about high rocks. She said that's her least favorite station.
Really?
Yeah.
We've got more yeah, yeah, you see, and she likes scuba diving as well.
Yes.
It's a sign.
That's good. That's good. All right. If we're listening to music at the gym, what are we listening to?
Something heavy metal.
Okay. Something loud?
Yeah.
Okay. I've got 2 final questions for you as we wrap up, and these are not lightning round questions, so you can take your time. Okay?
Okay.
All right. If someone new to adaptive CrossFit is listening to this podcast, what would you tell them to take their first step?
Go to the gym, go try it out, speak to other athletes, contact them if it's on Instagram. If you're comfortable speaking to a woman, contact me, contact anyone. But don't miss out. Try it. If you don't like it, then you're doing it wrong. Try again.
I love that. I love that. All right. Last question. What would you say to a younger version of yourself to encourage her?
Don't be afraid to show emotion. Life is a journey. You don't have to win. And what's in the past is in the past. Take it. It's like taking a photo. Keep the negative, but develop the positive.
I really like that. I really like that line. Yeah, that's good. Can you unpack that a little bit more for me? Actually, keep the negative, develop the positive. How's that played out in your life?
So what I've thought about where I came from,
Yeah,
being young married, children. It's easy to say, life owes me. People abused me, so that's a negative part. But remember that, but grow from that.
okay.
See the opportunities out of the negative. Where I am now and what I've achieved, I might never have done if it wasn't for my past.
Mm-hmm.
So keep the negative and build on that. Develop the positive.
Yeah. Yeah. I really like that. Thanks. Thanks for your vulnerability too, by the way, in this whole conversation, about just your life experience and where it's taken you and what you've learned from it, and the doors it's opened for you in terms of meeting your husband. You were talking just in passing about how your youngest daughter is now the head official for wheelchair rugby because she saw her mom doing something that she was like, I want to be a part of that. I can imagine having kids of my own. I can imagine how they see what we do, right? And go, oh, wow, I want to be a part of that in some way. That's just so cool.
Yeah, and the kids are our future. If it's making a difference in someone's life, then they're on the right path.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, Sue Jordaan, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. It was nice chatting to you.
Thanks so much for joining us for this episode of the podcast. What's really going to stick with me is what Sue said at the end of our interview. Quote, keep the negative, but develop the positive. That's such an interesting mindset, especially for someone like herself who has been through so much and has had to fight for everything that she has. She doesn't forget those bad things. She holds on to them, but she develops the positive things in her life. And it's clear that's gotten her far. She's competitive in wheelchair rugby. She's competitive in CrossFit, and I can't wait to see what she does in the future. Now, if you want to know more about Sue and follow her story, go to the show notes. We'll have a link to her Instagram page. We'll have a link to her handicap scuba diving crew so that you can learn more and see photos of what they do when they go scuba diving together. And you can follow her journey. If you want to help the podcast grow, go ahead and share this episode with a friend or go back and listen to a prior episode. Find one that you really like, maybe from someone that you met at the games, and share that episode so that more people can know about the work we're doing here on the podcast and the work that we're doing through adaptive fitness. I'm Matt Hotho, and I'll see you next time.